Welcome back to Five Stages. We'll give a quick summary of what's the agenda for today and the past week, what all has been happening. Because the past week, there's a lot of key events that happen around the world that impact us directly, especially because of what we talk about wealth and mindset. On the wealth aspect, a lot of key events really impact us when it comes to crypto, when it comes to Bitcoin, and the key events that happened last week that are very important are Kamala Harris running for Biden's administration, then Trump, Donald Trump, and Robert Kennedy Jr. speaking at the Bitcoin conference this weekend, and then Kamala Harris coming out and saying that Bitcoin and crypto is for criminals. So you see how all of these kind of play into whatever we speak about, because the best thing that I can tell you is that if Donald Trump and Robert Kennedy Jr. win the elections, it's the best thing for us in crypto, because the only thing they've been speaking about for this past weekend is that Bitcoin has to be the reserve for the dollar, because that's the only way the dollar can be strengthened. And when Kamala Harris got into power, the only thing she's been saying is Bitcoin is for criminals, and the party that's running behind her is saying Bitcoin is for criminals, and they use it for money laundering techniques and everything. So that is one aspect. The other key event that happened was the Paris Olympics yesterday. The opening ceremony in the Paris Olympics, I personally believe that's a very distasteful event that happened, but we can talk about it. We get each other's views. This is what it's all about: informing each other, getting each other's views, and seeing how this plays out. And then we wanted to speak about the golden age.
Yeah.
The golden age is very important to understand what kind of era we live in, how do things around us impact each other, and how do we prepare ourselves for the worst case scenario.
Like a COVID situation.
Yeah, like when COVID happened, how did we really prepare ourselves during COVID? Were we prepared during COVID? Because when COVID happened in 2020, myself, I can honestly tell you I was not prepared. I didn't know what to expect, and I don't blame myself, because whatever I was going through were only a set of programs that I was told to believe for myself. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
How did COVID impact you?
Same situation as you. I wasn't prepared for it at all. I think it comes into a point where we go into that flow state, right? We go into whatever happens. It's good, but also we were not prepared at all. That's the thing. I think because we were programmed by our parents, okay, this is a situation, the government, we believed in the governments at that time, right?
Yeah.
We were the government, whatever they do and they tell us is the right thing. So I think much came to the fact that money was a big issue. None of us were prepared financially.
Correct.
Because all the businesses started taking a hit. The restaurant business, F&B, all these guys took a major hit. Since I have a F&B business too, it took a big hit, and luckily, by God's grace, we had enough preparation to survive.
Yeah.
But not enough to profitize. We should have profitized out of it. These kind of situations were mentioned prior, but none of us paid attention because we believed that it wouldn't happen. This is all bullshit, voodoo stuff that Bill Gates was already talking about a pandemic. And when pandemic happened, the videos started coming out.
Correct.
What's the point of seeing it once the pandemic is going on?
I think the best way to describe it is what everyone calls as a black swan event. And for people who don't know what a black swan event is, a black swan event is an event that happens once in a lifetime that alters and changes the face of reality. For example, the best thing is COVID. COVID was a black swan event because it made people change the way they live. It made people realize that there is a different alternate to life. There's a different reality that you're actually living in. So some part of people understood that, you know what, COVID has woken us up and made us realize that there is control on the world. And the other part has just believed that, okay, this is part of life and you go through with it. And
awakening.
Yeah, the awakening is what I would call it. And the key...
For example, sorry I interrupted. Because for example, they were trying to see how far we can push the limits of human beings into seeing, will these guys follow whatever we say? The masks, the
curfews, in vaccines,
bro. The vaccines.
Yeah.
What the were we putting into our body? Especially, we didn't even know what these vaccines are. We're like, bro, we need to get it. that we weren't getting sick. We were getting these normal fevers and stuff, and we were so worried we'd die and stuff. Someone just came and told us like, "Oh, you guys will die if you get COVID," and we believed it.
Yeah.
These guys were showing false statistics. So it was about like the government trying to see how much order they could bring about through us.
And it's misinformation, man. The biggest problem that I had with COVID, that I have right now with what happened in the past, was misinformation. Like when COVID happened, because I was always only on mainstream media like Instagram, and I used to just like Instagram, Facebook, and I used to read all of the news channels
Yep.
like BBC and all, because this is what we were programmed to believe, that this is the right information. And in that key moment, we were stuck in our country. We were stuck in Dubai for like what, 2 years. We've not traveled.
Yep.
And then the minute travel opened up, the first thing they said is, you have two options: either you go get the vaccine and you travel, and you don't have to do the nasal swab,
Yeah.
or do the nasal swab, and if you test negative, then you can travel. And to us, being in the country for like 2 years, we were like, you know what, let's just go get the vaccine. And we didn't have anyone to come and tell us the right information, that guys, don't get the vaccine, it's a propaganda, it's not the right way. Because recently I've been doing a lot of digging on what was actually the case during COVID. And Elon put out a video saying that when COVID struck and a lot of people were dying even after being taken care of in the hospitals, he called up a doctor in Wuhan of his connections, and they said the main cause of people not recovering from after getting COVID was being on ventilators. When that was a solution being told to by doctors, that okay, if you can't breathe properly, you have to be on a ventilator. But what he said is, the doctors in China mentioned that you shouldn't be on a ventilator. Your body can heal by itself with natural remedies.
Good.
And your body is supposed to fight this, because it's just like any other ordinary virus. But again, whatever I'm telling you is just whatever I've heard and whatever facts I've seen. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not like 100% right, but I'm just saying, I'm a kind of person that likes to get all the information from different places, and I make my outlook on it.
Yeah.
I'm not someone that
It's
takes.
good you mentioned that. Sorry again. You mentioned about ventilator and people could have cured themselves. They literally say that for every disease, there's a cure just by people working on their mindset. It's
Yeah.
very important. So now we're being fed this information that COVID is going to kill you. That this is the end if you don't take the vaccine. It's going to destroy your
Yeah.
entire immunity. So now in our mind, it's already programmed. You get COVID, is the end. So we believe there is no like ways to recover apart from ventilators, apart from all those vaccines and numerous medicines that we have to take. So now our brain is already like in this matrix. It's built around this matrix that okay, if you get COVID, this situation, there is no cure because no one's found it. It's like how we believe that cancer has no cure, but it actually does have a cure. It's just that it's not put out to the world. This I strongly believe in it. There is no way they don't have a cure for cancer, because you can see pharma industry is crazy. Like
So if, let's say if you have to go back 4 years and like COVID happens again. I mean, COVID will never happen again because people are already well prepared. But how do you prepare yourself for a black swan? You can't prepare yourself for a black swan event, but how do you take the most precautions to be ready in case an event like that happens?
Perfect.
Like in two things, give me 2 categories of things that people need to be prepared in.
All the important news you need and how the world is going to move forward. China, focus on China. These guys are 3 months ahead of all of us. This is what I believe, because when I started dealing with business in China, all the new innovations, all the advanced technology, all these guys putting it on Amazon, drop shipping, it's all coming from China. And then slowly people start moving into it. If you know about China, they were like prepared for this by November. Over here it came out on March.
Yeah.
December onwards, everyone's talking about it, but like stupid retards, we're just moving around, it never come to us, but they're talking about this already. Everything starts from this place, China. It's one of the most overpopulated countries, everything, so not overpopulated, one of the highest populations over there. So everything originates from there. Focus on what these guys are talking about, you'll be ahead of the curve first. Second, if you want to prepare for it, it's about the information that you get from the people around. Like Bill Gates was talking about this already, and this guy's a master in all of this stuff, right? So he's talking about it. Everyone else around us is talking. Like you have to see, like now X is there, you're safe.
Yeah.
All the information is there. So
I think the biggest blessing that we've been given after COVID was Elon buying X.
100%.
Because if he did not do that, all of the information we would have been provided with would be number one censored and biased. And when all you receive is censored and biased information, you're not able to make your own decision off of things.
Yep.
I mean, as much as whenever I open X, I see a lot of things that I'm not interested in seeing. The one good thing is I'm able to make a decision for myself based on content that I see.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that happened recently with Microsoft, the power, I think
I'm not aware of this.
the system update outage that happened,
I've heard
that
about
caused a lot of disruptions across the world in airports and everything. And this is what brings me back to what we were discussing about the next big black swan event that I believe that could possibly be a threat is a cybersecurity hack.
They've told it at the beginning of the year, by the way.
Because each and every individual is always well equipped with their phone, with technology, with internet. Banking, for example, banking has moved to only online. How often do you see people rolling around with cash in their hand?
Yeah.
Cash is key, but how often do you see people adding value to it? Everything is on your phone. Tomorrow, all it takes is for one EMP. EMP is an electromagnetic pulse. If it takes one strong EMP to disconnect everything within my community itself, none of us have access to the internet. What do we do?
Cybersecurity was Putin, by the way, who told, he's predicting that there's going to be a cyber attack this year. So he's prepared himself in every way in Russia. He's taking care of his people. So this information is there. It's provided by the president of that country. Now it's our wish if we go forward with it or we don't.
Yeah.
But if we listen to someone that's coming from a position of knowledge, he's a spy, he's been like credited for all the crazy stuff he's done, just listen to him, man. At least take something out of what he's saying and it'll be in your benefit. Yeah.
So these are like all world events that like the reason why I think I'm bringing up all these world events is because these directly actually impact us.
Yeah.
Number one is because we are in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. The currency we use is the UAE dirham. The UAE dirham is pegged to the dollar. So whatever happens in the US that impacts the dollar negatively or positively directly impacts the UAE dirham. Because we always speak about this where we say our actual currency is time. You give your time in terms of energy and you get rewarded with money. Now if I'm working and getting the UAE dirham back, I need to understand how valuable is it. Like for example, if 1 hour of my time is worth 1,000 dirhams over here, in Sri Lanka if I go, 1 hour of my time might be worth what? 10,000 in their currency. But in a number factor, it's still the same. It's just the value of the currency that changes. That's why I'm always focused on what is happening in the US. US politics really impact my way of thinking because majority of my investments is in crypto and Bitcoin.
Good you mentioned that. Back to Kamala Harris and the Trump, right? She says it's a criminal currency and you're saying it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's a good currency that helps the people. So that you have to take both sides. Kamala Harris is also someone who is supposedly educated and knows her shit because she's probably the vice president for a reason. And there's a conference coming in. Can you give us a better idea about why she's saying it's a criminal currency? Because I do believe also it can be used for the wrong purposes, and since it's not regulated. And talk about the conference.
Couple of years ago, like when Biden's administration came into power, the first couple of things that happened in the crypto industry was a lot of lawsuits were being taken up against Ethereum, against other cryptos, saying that, you know what, these crypto businesses are not commodities, they are securities. So basically what this means is if a specific company is a security, then it falls under the SEC's jurisdiction in the US. That
Elaborate
means
on SEC.
Okay. SEC, the full form of SEC would be a bit hard for me to get you, but
what do they do?
The SEC is a company or a board or a commission. The easiest way to explain this is the SEC is a commission that basically monitors all the financial institutions that trade money between each other in the US. So when it comes to money laundering, when it comes to anything that relates to any company or any publicly traded company, privately traded company that deals in the US, they all fall under the SEC's jurisdiction. So you want to start a company, your taxes, everything falls under their jurisdiction. So when all of this started happening, and I just know a top line level of it, I've never got into the in-depth portion of it because I'm a guy that doesn't the way I process information is not by reading stuff. I like to speak to people and get information. So whatever I'm telling you is whatever I've spoken to multiple people about. Now with the SEC constantly filing lawsuits against multiple crypto companies, crypto, you need to understand, is an industry that has a lot of retail investors. Retail investors are like you and me, regular people, and the power of the people is their votes. So over the course of the last 3 years, crypto investors have just been hammered because there are only lawsuits falling down on their head on these companies that we've invested in. Now all of a sudden what they've realized in Jan is when the Bitcoin ETF got approved. That is basically powered by BlackRock. What BlackRock has gone and said is we've understood what BlackRock has said, the CEO, Mr. Larry Fink, he's gone out to say that, you know what, we understand how powerful Bitcoin is as an asset. Our clients want it. We'll create something called as a Bitcoin ETF. An ETF is an enterprise traded fund. What that basically states is, let's say if I have a fund and I have a couple of clients behind me who is interested in buying Bitcoin. If they don't want to buy Bitcoin directly, I can buy Bitcoin on their behalf and I charge them a management fee. So this is what they've done. Another 11 more companies have done the same. And with all of this in play, what it started to show is, okay, fine, the American public are the voters, the elections are coming up. So the most powerful thing right now is what can I do to get people's votes? And the Biden administration was constantly hammering down on crypto. So it was very difficult for them to fall under for them to get voters. Then what Trump did was a very smart decision. He came out to say that, you know what, he's fully in support of Bitcoin. And that's what changed the entire structure of the entire elections. The entire elections itself changed into a crypto elections. And when all of this started to happen, that's when you start seeing Donald Trump, Robert Kennedy Jr. coming out and saying Bitcoin is for us. Donald Trump came out outright and said, in the US has to be the leaders in this industry because we want to take full control. We want to have a safe place for companies to come and develop their business in crypto in the US. We want to be the main leaders because it's the one asset that is traded across the world. And now when you think, when this happens and Donald Trump wants it, Robert Kennedy Jr. wants it, the only thing I can't seem to understand is why does Kamala Harris not want it?
Why?
I don't get it.
Okay.
Like, why does she say that Bitcoin is for criminals? Like, you know the kind of industry that is there in crypto. You know the amount of power these voters have. Why go against it? Why not feed into it? If you want voters, feed into it, give them a safe place to keep their money and get their votes.
What if she believes in the traditional method is actually working out for the people?
Maybe, but the biggest problem for me is what they wanted to do, the Democratic Party, what they wanted to do is they wanted to introduce something known as CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency.
Okay.
What that basically means is, as of right now, you have a traditional central bank. That is, when money is being borrowed, they print money in physical cash. Now, when you launch something known as a CBDC, it's a central bank but in a digital platform, and it takes minimalistic effort to print money, and when that printing of money happens, they have full control over how much money goes to each and every individual. And if the entire country is running on a CBDC, the biggest problem for regular people like you and me is that the government has control over our money. It's like
it's the same thing. It's just digital. This is what China is doing, right?
It's the same thing what happened in China. It's what's happening right now in China. It's what can happen in the US, and you have to compare it to COVID. You know, during COVID, what did they say?
Perfect.
Curfew.
Back to China, yeah.
During COVID, we had curfews, right?
Yeah.
They said, till 10 o'clock at night we can go out. After 10 we can't go out.
Yeah.
Now, okay, fine. That was just a curfew. Now, if we were using a CBDC, that is central bank digital currency, they don't even have to tell us we don't have to go out. What they can do is just say, you know what, after 10 o'clock, we just close down your wallets. You can't even, you want to use your phone and Apple Pay, you can't Apple Pay. You don't have any money, you don't have access to your own money. Then what do you do? And I'm not, like, people think, I always speak to a lot of people about this. People think I'm a dumbass when I speak about this, but I question them. Do you know what happened in Lebanon a couple of years ago?
Best example. That's the best example.
Yeah.
This happens. even the people in China right now, you know how many people are trying to like move their money before.
Yeah.
The ones who are prepared foresee this event and they've positioned themselves right. Like as we know, many of our people from China position themselves well, and we have enough information from people who have visited China on and off and frequently dealing with business there. They keep telling us how controlled it is, how everything is so surveilled, how the surveillance is so high over there. So again, follow China. They're giving you already indications how things are going to move in the world.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I want to come back to Larry Fink, Trump, and Robert Kennedy Jr., right? So you told about Larry Fink and Trump joining hands. Isn't Larry Fink BlackRock, and they were initially supporting the Biden administration?
So these are things
Why
that
the sudden change of like minds?
Yeah, these are things that I don't really understand, things that don't add up. But again, information is just so...
I'll tell you.
So
I know
naive.
this one. Have you seen the Netflix series of Trump before his election? They released it.
No.
I kept telling you to watch it. I couldn't finish it myself, but I watched like majority of it. So Trump's a smart guy. He's good, but he knows how to play the game really well. Like he's good for us, he's good in his own way. He's actually a nice gentleman. Like you've seen actually the stuff that people are watching, people are like endorsing him, that like, you know, popular people are like really endorsing him. So it's good to believe that even the people that we look up to and we are inspired by are endorsing him. So there's not much wrong that he's doing. He's actually looking for the best of the world. Elon Musk, if Elon Musk is supporting him, I'm on for this guy. Like this guy is, because even recently, okay, I'll get back to that first. And so Trump, when he had $200 million debt back in, I forgot when, but when the Trump Tower was just being built, this guy is crazy. He works in the most unorthodox ways, right? Like he had $200 million in debt. He was living like a king. So people are crying about having a debt of 10,000, but this guy was on $200 million in debt. The whole world is like shitting on him. And all he would say to these guys like, how do you know my net worth? You haven't seen my paper.
Yeah.
Same way Elon Musk says, these are all real numbers. Like you don't know what's really happening. At that time, when the whole world was attacking him, there was this one horrible lawyer. I forgot his name, but they literally call him the Satan. His face, everything. His presence when he enters the room is like so heavy. Guess who hired him?
Trump. Okay.
He hired the most scariest lawyer in the whole New York. Like this guy's devil. He'll go till whatever extent to destroy you. And this guy took this guy in his team.
Nice.
He's a smart motherfucker. Now you can see this guy, he went, hired him. Anyone who opposed Trump or went against him, sue. He kept winning every single shit. So this Netflix documentary was actually made to like bash him. And they removed it, by the way, because everyone started supporting him after watching that. So this, I feel, Trump is one of the best salesmen too. When they were trying to close the Plaza deal, the Chinese came and they were only interested in buying the Trump Plaza. Convinced them to buy the whole land around, not sell the entire plaza. And these guys bought and they built a bunch of real estate around it. So this guy is a phenomenal salesperson. He can convince you to do anything by like reading into your mind. So he's again got Larry Fink on his team, means there's some bigger picture, and he never loses.
The thing is, I don't know how much of that is true as well, because there was one post that I saw that he said that he was gonna appoint him as the Treasury Secretary or something. Then also I saw a post that said no, he never agreed to it. So I don't know what's the right information, but I wouldn't bank on it. But the key part in this whole picture is that Donald Trump is a very successful businessman. And you need a successful businessman to run a country if you're looking to make your currency stronger. At the end of the day, the way you run a country is like running a business. You need to figure out how do you balance your imports and exports, how do you balance the money that goes in and out of the country to make sure your currency has value. And this is what we need.
What if Trump comes into power and then doesn't stick to his words?
See, the thing is, when he comes into power, the logical decision right now is you need to see that he's a businessman as well. If he's a businessman and majority of his wealth is in the US dollar or is in real estate, which Trump's net worth and businesses in real estate, the key part is whatever he's saying will benefit him, will benefit people around who's positioning themselves today. Like when he and Robert Kennedy Jr. come out and said, you know what, if we are elected into power, Bitcoin will be the reserve for the US dollar. That means the US government can only print as much of dollars only
Yeah.
based on how much of Bitcoins you have.
Yep. And he's backed by Elon Musk and all these other
Yeah,
guys,
and these
right?
are all like strategic moves that are happening all around the world, because you understand that if you keep printing the dollar, you keep losing value on the dollar. Every year you lose 16%. I cannot beat this enough in people's head. You lose 16% of your money every single
This is
year.
facts, right?
It's
Reality.
a fact. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do about it? And the biggest part is November is the elections. It's gonna be a very key moment, because he, like, in my opinion, he has to win, because it's not just for the financial markets anymore. He has to win because it's the fate of the world. What I have seen, what anyone has seen in the past couple of years, if you do not recognize that the satanic and demonic activity around being spread is disturbing, then something is wrong. Like, the biggest and best example that I can give you over the past couple of years that's changed. For example, let's go and talk about the LGBTQ pride walks that's happening. Now, I'm not a hater, but I'm not a very firm believer also in this, because I believe every single person is their own person. You're an individual. You can manage yourself. If you are gay, if you have your pronouns, whatever it is, keep it to yourself. Your sexuality, keep it to yourself. Keep it within your household. There is no reason why you have to be walking out on the road, doing a march, shouting out against children, driving children into this, because they are going to be the foundation. They are going to be the backbone of the future generation. You're ruining the next civilization.
Yeah.
People I had a lot of people go against me about what I said long time ago about this whole LGBTQ thing. But the best example I'll give you. Yesterday we had the Paris Olympics opening ceremony. You've not seen it, right?
I haven't. That's
So you
why
know
I
what?
asked you, let me know.
I didn't want to show this to you before, but I'll show it to you right now. So you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So, you know what the Last Supper is, yeah? In the Bible.
Of course.
So this is the Last Supper.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ready? In 3, 2, 1. This is the opening ceremony. And all the people here are trans.
Yeah, this is mocking someone's religion, and we are not mocking them.
This is like...
Is it fair that they mock someone's religion?
This is what I don't like. I don't like that you drag religion into something like this, because if you're dragging religion into something like this, it is clear as day that this is satanic. This is not something that is right, because you don't have any right to use your gender, your sexuality in the form of religion.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'm not a religious guy, but at the same time, for the first time yesterday, I felt offended when I saw something like this, because it didn't feel right. Like, it didn't feel like this was something that is needed. Number one, because it's an event called the Olympics. The Olympics is about sports. The people that play these sports have worked their asses off day and night throughout multiple years to sit and win that medal that means a lot to them. There's a lot of
And
value.
their country.
And for their country. They want to stand up for their country and win something. So it adds a lot of value. And you don't even care about the athletes. You've just gone out and just done an opening ceremony like this to defame and to... I don't know. I don't have the words for it, because it's very disrespectful for someone to disrespect a religion like that.
See, even when we look at LGBTQ, it's like a cult, it's like a religion. The minute we bash them or we say anything, it's like they bring hell on us. But they can do such crazy acts like this and feel like they don't have to get they don't have to be held accountable for this.
You know, the best thing that to tell you over here is how the left controls the media and controls the narrative. Number one thing, did you hear about this yesterday, the Paris Olympics?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
You never heard about it. I didn't see it on Facebook. I didn't see it on Instagram. I didn't see it on YouTube Shorts. I didn't see it anywhere. The only place where I saw videos and pictures were on X. Why is that the case?
Good point.
Why is that the case?
Why?
Is it because
What
it's
are they
controlled?
hiding?
Like, I don't get what are they trying to do over here. Like,
You see that now there are people supporting these agendas. There are really soulless people doing this stuff. It's not cool. It's not cool, because we have nothing against people, what they follow, what they like to do. We have no issues at all. as long as they don't push their stuff onto us and make us believe that this is the way of life
Yeah.
and this is how we should be. Like, what can we do? We don't find interest in doing this stuff. So you guys can do your own thing. We don't run around staying every day in the streets. We're straight. We're straight. We're straight.
Yeah.
No one says that. Like why is this happening? Like for their like sexuality.
I
right?
completely get it if someone comes to me and says, you know what, the reason why they do it is because they don't have a voice in society.
Rizwan,
They
I'll
need
tell
a
you
voice
this.
in society. Fair enough. You need a voice in society. Do as you wish in the relevant decor. Like there needs to be a time and place for certain things.
But Barack Obama approved gay marriages. Now, how much more voice do they want? US, the strongest power in the world, has approved gay marriages. How much of a voice do you want? Like now,
Yeah.
you're just pushing the limits and going crazy.
Like, I don't like that it's being imposed on children. I don't
Mhm.
like that.
Elon Musk told about his
Yeah.
child, right?
Especially yesterday after seeing the Paris Olympics opening ceremony, it was very disheartening to see how they would disrespect religion so openly. And it is an event, like what I do not understand is it is an event that is viewed by the entire world.
No relation.
It has
no need
the-
to be there.
The sporting event has no correlation to
Mhm.
religion
Yeah, for
because
sure.
it's a sporting event that is competed by every single country from all of the world.
Mm-hmm.
If multiple countries are competing in it, you have countries from the Middle East, you have countries from Asia, you have European countries, you have American countries.
Yeah.
If all of these countries are literally competing for a gold medal or to be the best country in the Olympics, how does that have anything to do with religion? There is something that you told me long time ago on the end of civilization.
Oh yeah, every religion talks about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Islam, since it's the most recent religion, it says clearly every civilization that went retarded and did all this degenerate stuff, knocked out face of the earth. Like most Muslims would know about the story of the people of Hud, and like there's a lot of people. Like any civilization, it comes to its end when degeneracy goes to the extreme. It's
Yeah.
like, I think, universe way of like clearing out the space and
Starting fresh. Restarting and
So
starting fresh.
it's about like good and bad, right? Like I don't know what is good and bad. Like it's up to us what we define, but it's about when you really know satanic things are happening, the good have to speak out. Us shutting our mouth and sitting here and saying, because many people told us, you guys shouldn't do this, you guys shouldn't do that, you guys are drawing in attention because you guys are shouting out. Who's gonna speak about it? Do you want us to go through a whole COVID situation again?
Yeah.
I won't stand for it. I want a better future for my future generations that are coming. That's being selfish. If you keep your mouth shut when things are happening and when people are trying to put order, we're just becoming a sheep in the herd.
Yeah,
right?
at the end of the day, I
There
told
is
you,
no way.
we are not here to enforce anything on people.
Yeah.
We're not here to make people follow us. I'm just here to spread information that I have, and maybe if you don't believe me, go ahead, do your own research, but take key elements of what I'm saying, go do your research. Honestly, drop some stuff in the comments. Drop some stuff in the comments, like what do you guys believe us? Do you guys don't believe us?
Bash us. We don't care.
Go
Bash
for
us,
it.
tell
Like,
us. We're happy to
I
see a
love
different perspective.
criticism because it makes me
100%.
want to go and learn more.
100%.
And if there is something that I'm not looking at it from the right direction, I want to be told that I'm not looking at it from the right direction.
Yeah, because what we're trying to do when Blade Runner, this is a good movie, I was watching it halfway through yesterday. They constantly talk about creating order. When there is no order, people always like order. And when there is no order, the higher powers are like, yo, what's happening? We need to figure this shit out. Like, people need to get into order. Like, when everyone goes different ways, they don't like that.
Yeah.
Because if you're owning a business and your employees are all around the place doing their own shit, you want the order back. At the end of the day, how much have we talk about breaking out of like the whole system, we still need these people to exist for things to happen. And when they do like things that are not orderly, we get pissed, right? We tell them, come on guys, back to order. So this is what's happening in real time, and we're just helping people see it as a collective. When you help a collective see it in a group setting, this is why like there's Capital Club, there is War Room, Hustlers University, and all these people that came on. You have to give credit where it's due. These people
I can tell you,
yeah.
hands down, the one thing that I've appreciated a lot after COVID was that certain people's voices have come out for the betterment
100%.
of society. Like, people can bash me how much ever they want, but if you look at the real world, you look at what Andrew Tate has done with the real world. It is
Big balls.
helping
Big balls.
men be masculine men,
Mhm.
and that is what is important in today's society. Maybe there's a certain element of him, the way he speaks. I'll tell you honest. This is my honest opinion on it. Andrew Tate is a masculine guy. He
Mhm.
speaks about how men should be masculine in today's era, where the world is so tough for men that the easiest solution for a man to do is go and say, I identify as a woman. Now,
Yeah.
there are certain things I don't agree with him, which is the
Yeah.
aspects about women. I'll tell you why. The reason why I don't agree is, if you're a man, give advice to men about how a man should live.
Mm-hmm.
Women, fine, they have their own struggles, they have their own thing.
Yeah.
Leave that up to the women to do that.
Mhm.
Like the problem is what he's saying, even if it's true, it comes out as misogynistic.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's my words, but I'm saying this is the words of people. It comes off like that.
It comes up, yeah, because we know about what he's actually intending. You need to understand very simple. When he got caught in that whole case, they contacted 2,000 people that he knew,
Yeah.
all the way till his gardener. Not one spoke bad about him. So him speaking all that stuff on the internet, we see through it. If people are getting triggered and they're not seeing through it, that's their problem. But if he was actually a misogynist, and if he was actually, like you told about masculine, I don't fully agree a man is only masculine. You have to have a perfect balance of masculine and feminine. This is the things, like these are normal stuff, like masculine and feminine is a good mixture.
Correct. But
otherwise, ego comes in.
Correct, but when
ego
you're
comes
talking
in.
about like, give us more context on
Yeah.
it, because from my understanding, because there are things
Yeah.
about Andrew Tate that's changed a lot about me when I used to listen to him in the past was
Mhm.
masculinity in terms of the way you approach situations, the way you stand up in
Mhm.
the way you stand your ground, the way you perceive yourself in society.
Yeah.
Society is hard.
Yeah.
Things you want to achieve is hard. He's helped show me that okay, fine, things are hard to get, but too bad, bro. It sucks. But this is the path, and you get rewarded if you go through
Yeah.
it. But when you say a man should have a masculine and feminine side, give more context on it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by
This
both
is the
sides?
yin
of
and
it?
yang theory, right? So every man possesses the masculine and feminine trait. You have to tap into both. This is why we see like a lot of people when we were in school, they were like super feminine, but it's not that they were born with the feminine side or something. They just tapped into, like, it might be their matriarchal side that was helping them get raised, so they get more like of the feminine qualities if the father is not present all the time. Or so you need a good balance, because your body has this, the yin and yang theory is the balance between both of the male and female. So the male side has like all this protective, providing nature. The female side has this too, but you can't compare them both to be equal. Like, oh, the females have to do the same thing as men. The men have, it's very different. Like, females like order, men don't want order. They want to just go all around the place. No matter how much you think, oh, you're a guy who likes everything in order and stuff, it's not true. Females like stuff in order. That's why they want a man who's got his shit right, so that they can see that this guy's a good prospect. Men, on the other hand, they just want to take care of their own shit and figure out the rest, like as they go through the way. They're happy to take multiple risks. Women, no, you can't put them in these kind of stressful, chaotic situations. So as men, we do have both these traits, and it's about maintaining a fine balance so that you become more kinder, more nicer. Where do you think these qualities come from? How do you see, like, oh, like men can be like these fighters, they're the most aggressive people on the ring, but the most kindest and calmest people outside the ring. This is because we have a fine balance between both. That doesn't mean you're a chick or like you're weaker or something. There's no way, like, because I've actually put myself into understanding. You have it too. It's just you don't understand these concepts well enough. But like
I've never, like, from my side, I've never gone into the in-depths of like a masculine and feminine side of people and all. For me, it's just that I have too many things on my plate to think about.
It's just like knowledge. Like, it's just knowledge. It's not about you need to know, because it's not like you've hit your woman. Neither is Andrew Tate hitting his woman. He's treated everyone well.
Correct.
He's treated everyone like the way. And what he's saying is not wrong. Why don't you want to provide for your woman? Like,
of course.
See, I don't have a problem with people doing 50-50. I don't have a problem with anyone living the way they live their life. It's totally fine. But does it make you feel better that you can provide for your women and the people around you? Fuck yeah, I'm happy, bro. If I can provide for everyone around me and give my woman like the best care, and because once your woman is in her prime state of like peace, calmness, everything, bro, your reality gets better. This is why they say that your partner defines your future. Like, you need a good woman to have a...
What is the importance of it? And is it relevant for someone to know about this?
See, you can exist as a person all by yourself,
Okay.
but you exist even better with a partner.
Okay.
Okay, so your female existing with you is very important since ancient history, since ancient time. That's why the women's vagina is like the gateway to everything. Women are talked
What
about
do you-
super big, like in
What do you mean
every
by
kind.
that? Like it's a very
Women can
it's
create
a
life.
it's a vague statement.
Yeah, women can create life.
Okay.
Women are the only beings capable of creating life.
Okay.
So now, that's like God power, bro. Like, so you know the importance of a woman now. So this comes in like even bigger picture. Like women, how do I say it? So if this woman has if she's in her most prime state, like if she's taken care of, she's chill, relaxed, no stress, she starts like creating an amazing reality for the man she's with. Like this is in a whole energy and everything kind of comparison, but to make people understand even better, that's why it's important. You have to take care of your women so that a better reality comes for you. And this is why when we were talking about Andrew Tate, he's actually very good at treating his women. That's why none of them went behind his back, and he's actually finding benefit. He knows about this, so he finds a benefit of taking care of women actually plays in his benefit.
Okay.
So this is why it's important. You should keep, like, instead of treating a woman like the slave, you need to treat her like she's a really important person in this whole picture. And that's why providing and protecting came
So
out.
some people, like on couple of points that you mentioned, that you should like take care of your woman and protect them and
Mhm.
everything. Some women would question back saying, why do I need someone to take care of me? Why do I need to do that for someone else? Why can I not just do that for myself? Why do I have to depend on someone to do it for me? What do you say to that?
First aspect is physical. Men and women are like in physical comparison. There are exceptions in everything we speak about over here. There's exceptions always. But if you compare biological, physical strength wise,
That sounded like a nice car. That
yeah,
sounded like
that's a
mini-
bike, Prada. Anyways,
That's
back.
a bike.
Yeah, that's a bike for sure.
See, this is how men,
Kawasaki.
this is how men get distracted when
Yeah.
it comes to speaking about women, bro. Yeah, continue.
Bro, if you're a misogynist, say that.
I'm not a
I'm
misogynist.
focused on the picture, brother.
I'm not a
focused.
misogynist.
I'm focused on the bigger picture,
I'm
brother.
very open-minded guy.
I'm here for the ladies to support them from people like you, bro.
People like me, I'm the most supportive person.
Bro,
that
you
any-
stop talking. When you wanted to talk about Bitcoin, you had all the flow.
That
You
is
were
true.
not bothered by
That
chirping
is true,
about
that is
nothing.
true,
Suddenly
that
we
is true,
start
that
speaking
is
about
true.
women. You have a big.
It was a car, bro. It was a car.
Brother, back to the topic. We get-
Okay,
Wait,
tell
wait.
me about. The only thing that
about
I'm asking-
biological.
Yeah.
So you agree with me that physically women are like compared to a man weaker. So if she's out there in the real world and where it's not safe, like how Dubai is super safe, other countries are not super safe. They need to be protected by a man.
Okay.
I mean, usually like you'd expect the people in that society to not harm women, but circumstances lead to like there's always good and bad people. So when there's a bad person, a good man needs to step up. A woman won't be able to protect herself. In terms of construction, plumbing, all this is man's duty, man's job. So women can't dominate in these fields. And when it comes to like even mentally, women function differently than men, and this is where a man should come in and provide and protect. So this is what I'm again emphasizing on, you should drop the women's stress levels. Women are not created to be stressing and being in chaotic environments, hustle, grind. This is a man's job. The man is supposed to go hunt and serve the family. The woman is supposed to just help in taking care of the house, converting a house to a home.
Okay.
And even cooking, when I say, is supposed, like you can say to an extent, a man's duty. Again, drop the woman's stress level, make her feel as comfortable. Like this is why they say take care of the queen and then the king is always taken care of. That's why in the chess board the queen is the last. The queen is able to do everything, make all the crazy moves, and in the end her prime duty is to protect the king. So this is the best way I can explain this, but there's like more in depth. I'm not the best person to go in depth of
Do you
it.
think people would question like a woman's role in this whole equation based on the things that you've said?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I know for a fact that there are some people out there that would question, saying that, okay, you mentioned something about hustling and grinding. Okay, fine, that's a man's world or something like that, because we can handle that much amount of stress and all of that. Because you
We are supposed to
mentioned
handle.
we are
Yeah.
supposed to handle stress, because women are not supposed to handle stress, so that they could feel more comfortable in their
Yeah.
environment. But certain people would question again, saying that why is there a comparison between two? What if women want to be part of that environment and successfully part of it? Like, for example, you have Kim Kardashian, you have all the other women across the world who are successful entrepreneurs. Like, even if you look at what's her name?
This
Rishi
Alex
Sunak's.
Hormozzi's wife is the
Yeah,
best
Alex
example.
Hormozzi's
Yeah,
wife. Rishi Sunak's wife.
Yeah.
All of these people, like Rishi Sunak's wife,
Yeah.
runs Infosys, one of the
Okay. Oh,
like
okay.
the richest company in Asia. So not the richest, one of the richest. So in these events, like even the CEO of, is it Bumble?
Yeah.
The CEO of Bumble, she also
Yeah.
started from scratch. So these women are the ones that made it out of it. So is it a generalizing thing that you're talking about, or is
I
it
told
like
exceptions are there in every scenario,
okay?
but these are exceptional cases. How many women do you know in your circle that are like running out there hustling and grinding? Like, it's a minority which we entirely support, and we're like, go ahead with whatever you want to do. You have some ideas, you want to go into a field of entrepreneurship, perfect. But if you have a woman who's coming and telling you that, listen, I don't really want to partake in this chaotic world of hustle and grind, then it's your duty not to tell her, no, become like us.
Correct.
And hustle and grind. Instead, you step up as the man, and then you tell her, listen, as a female, these are the responsibilities you'd have to look after, and these are the responsibilities that I'd have to look after. Everyone has their roles to play. As long as they play it in the perfect way, you make balance and you create better realities. It's so important, because
True.
women are creators. They're the only beings able to create humans. None of us men can do this, and so their energy levels are crazy if you can tap into that. That's why, like, I'm selfish in one way, where if I ever go with a woman, if I'm with a woman, I'd give her the best life, so that all she has to do is sit there and manifest the best reality for us. And I've seen with this in the case of my family, everyone, they have like different ways of visioning stuff, and if they're constantly in like chaotic environments, their heart stops beating and then they're stressing constantly in the heart, so they're not able to manifest better realities. They're always in flight or fight mode. So once you step them out of this flight and fight mode, they're
So when you
performing
say manifest, like, let's talk about.
Brother, can you support with the air conditioning?
Yeah, can you
Thank
put the AC on?
Thank you,
So-
production team.
So when you're talking about manifestation, because we both have two views about it and two opinions about it, like not two opinions, the same
Perspectives,
opinion,
yeah.
but different perspectives of it.
Yeah.
The way we both practice it,
Mhm.
it's a different thing. So what is your perspective of manifestation, and how do you think it benefits your life?
Yeah.
That's number one. And like you said, a woman playing a big role in it, because I've not ever experienced it from a feminine perspective, where having a feminine partner who manifests for you, I don't know what that entirely means, like in terms of perspective. So
Yeah.
give me your thoughts on it, because you've mentioned something, and
Yeah.
certain people out there who listen to this also would like to know, like, okay, when you say you have a partner, she can manifest for you, women are creators, women are more powerful. What do you mean by that? How do you tap into that? And if someone had to do it from start to finish, what's the roadmap?
Okay, perfect. So, in terms of how you can tap into a woman's potential, you need to first go back in time and see that every religion, every scripture, everything mentions about finding your other half. You are whole as a person, but there is some sense to why they keep saying finding your other half, the better half. It's not like you're incomplete without this, but there is a reason why when two souls come together. It's like what I've read, like it's not factual, it's just like myth stuff. At the time when you were being when you were being created, you were a whole soul, but you get divided into two souls, and then one is the male and one is the female. It's like voodoo stuff, right? But like it makes sense why you're constantly searching for your significant other, that you're constantly in a search for a woman, and we're attracted to finding a partner for us, whether you like guys, whether you like women, whatever it is, you're constantly searching for that other half. So it shows you that it is the fulfilling feature. And when it comes to women, again, when we go back to the creation part, As I told you that they are the creators, and if you go back to ancient Egypt history, everywhere they emphasize on how important a woman is in creating a better reality. Now, cut aside all of that. As a man, we are able to take in a lot of stress, and we are able to like handle it, calm ourselves down even when like a lot of obstacles come across our way. And even to men, I always say calm yourself so that your heart starts pumping, like in energy force field ways. Like your heart needs to be calm constantly so it gets out of flight and fight mode and manifests a better reality. This is like explanations of manifestation. So when your heart's like calm, it starts sending out like electromagnetic waves, frequencies, and then your brain is also able to like send out thoughts in form of like frequencies, and you get manifest a better reality. These are like factual. That's only
I think the easiest way that I would like my perspective of a manifestation thought is that I discovered long time ago is that whatever you spend time thinking about, that comes to reality.
Simplest
so
way.
if you just sit and you just think that okay fine, I'm hungry, I want to eat something,
Yeah.
your body will end up emitting that kind of energy, and you would end up doing the kind of actions that would end up make you eat something, so you'd end up ordering food. So what I discovered for myself that I would do is, in every event when I would feel upset, when I would feel low, when I would feel like I'm drained of energy, what I would do is I would sit, switch off my mind, think about something good, think about something to look forward to, and I would tell myself this is me manifesting something better for myself. For example, what I would do is, when we started our company, when we started the company, I was like, okay fine, what's the best way that we could find a roadmap in this? So I just sat down and I decided that all I have to do is I need to constantly sit in a free state of mind, that I'm able to process positive thoughts about the company and what I would like to do for the company. Because I'm processing positive thoughts, only positive opportunities will come across, because I'm constantly thinking about that environment.
Yeah.
But if I'm spending my time thinking about things that are not in my control, I'm not actually tapping into the manifestation energy.
Perfect.
This is my perspective of it. But at the same time, at the end of the day, once you've sat and you've thought about the roadmap of where you want to be and how you want to get there, you need to also convince your body to act on it. You can't just sit, say, okay, I'm manifesting this, I'm manifesting that, and it works out. That's not how it works. What happens is, you manifest something, it comes to you in multiple different ways. The best example that I can give you is 2 years ago, I told myself, like, I don't know how, but somehow, some way, I want a Rolex watch and I wanted a Tesla. These are just two things that came to my mind, and I was like, these are two things that I wouldn't lose sleep over, but I really wanted. And then it came into the business and all of it, and then I got gifted a Rolex by a close family member of mine. And these kind of events made me realize that okay, now I have to be grateful to this gift that I got. And I took into consideration and realized that, you know what, that gift that I got was actually a gift from the universe, a gift from a close family member that I consider as a gift from the universe, because I thought about it.
Yeah.
Because if I never thought about the Rolex, I would have never had a conversation with someone within my close family to mention that yes, I am associated with a Rolex watch, this is something that I have wanted, and then eventually down the line it came to me.
Perfect.
But if I never spoke about it, if I never thought it first, I would never have the confidence to speak about it. So it's like the video I saw about Conor McGregor, where he says, if you have the courage to visualize it and you have the confidence to speak it, it will come to life for you.
Facts. So this is what, like when you told about the business, two important things. I learned a lot about manifestation from you. It's just that I went into depth about learning what it was and how it works and compare it with spirituality. Billionaire roadmap. You always used to tell us ideas about billion dollar moves, moves. And we're like, calm down, bro. We haven't reached there. But this is how. Exactly what you told is what we're supposed to do. Even the Rolex and Tesla. And you mentioned gratefulness. If you do these three things that you've mentioned, you will get what you want in your reality. So you were never in the mindset of lack. You, like you told, you were not stressing or you were upset that you didn't have a Rolex or a Tesla. You actually have 2 Rolexes now. So you see, the universe always gives you more than less, as long as your mindset is like in abundance. So you are constantly like, okay, perfect, I'm not lacking anything. Why should I look at my company as a small net worth company, but I want to look at it as a $1 billion company. I want to look, and so the roadmap started forming. We started progressing so fast, bro. We've progressed so fast compared to any other businesses that just started, because of the mindsets of everyone that's involved, especially yours. And when it came to Rolex and a Tesla, everything that you needed, you got it, you were grateful. Instead of at that point, man, my friends have a Rolex, but I don't have a Rolex. That's the kind of mentality you don't want to go into. And
I never kept that mentality for myself, because I was like, you know what, I'll take what comes to me and be grateful about it. Like, okay, I might not have bought it with my own money, but it came across.
Yeah, that's it.
It came across. Now, like the same thing. At the end of the day, these all things are materialistic items. After getting these two materialistic objects that I've always wanted in the past 2 years, I told myself I'm going to detach myself from materialistic items, because detaching myself from materialistic items is what allowed me to reach that state of mind of being abundant, and that's what got me into a place where I wanted to help others.
Perfect, bro. Detachment gives you attraction. So when you detach from all the material shit, you attract it better. This is the laws. This is the law of the manifestation. You detach from everything so that now you feel like you have everything you need. So now when you have these thoughts, it attracts. It's not like, oh, I want it so bad, I don't have it. You were like, fuck it, I don't care. Because you told me that time when you got the Rolex, this is just a watch, and whatever the value you give to that watch is all the value that it'll have.
Correct.
Nothing else.
Like
nothing more.
In my mind, I always think of it this way: a watch built by Rolex and a watch built by another guy, which is very identical to a Rolex watch. It has everything, but the only thing it doesn't have is Rolex certification. It is still a watch with the same kind of design, same craftsmanship that went behind it, because someone had to make it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, fine. I don't care if someone wears a fake watch or a real watch, because at the end of the day, it's how much of value do you attach to it? How much of significance do you put on it? An extremely wealthy person, if you see Elon or Donald Trump or one of these guys wear a Rolex watch, no one would ever question it's fake. They could wear a fake watch and walk around all day long. No one would ever question it's fake. It's just your mindset and your perception of the person that's wearing it.
Yep.
Like, are you strong enough to carry that weight of what it takes to wear that?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think there's any weight to wear it. It's just how well do you position yourself that you feel okay with what you do.
Yeah. Man, didn't you go for that yacht event and all of the billionaires, millionaires that were there?
Yeah.
None of them were actually wearing anything fancy.
Yeah,
this is the most expensive thing that you have, your mindset. And your mind. Like even Luke Belmar says in one of his thing, like this is the thing, we listen to all these guys growing up, I mean in this phase, he says when he was broke in the outer world, but he had a very rich mindset, he attracted that $80,000 deal for him in one shot, and everything changed in his life from there. So he's like, I was broke, but I was rich in the mind, and that's all you need. Like people think you need to have outer world money, because when you have outer world money, you still not be happy if your mindset is shit. Like instead of being grateful that you got a Rolex, you could be like, man, I didn't buy it with my own money, so it doesn't count as mine.
Exactly.
That's a big point, right? You were still grateful regardless. I got the watch. That's all I care about.
But these are like key factors of what people speak that has resonated with what we understand as well. Like the best example that you could say is Luke Belmar. The way he started his own community, his own networking space, Capital Club. There's a lot of people within that community that have access to each other. That the easiest way that he explains to be a billionaire is you don't need $1 billion for yourself. If you have 10 people who have access to $100 million each, you easily have access to $1 billion worth of net worth. Because your network is your net worth. Because at the end of the day, you have look at how PayPal started. PayPal didn't start with, people only know that PayPal was founded by Elon. But PayPal was not just founded by Elon. There were 12 other people involved in the process of founding PayPal. 2 of the other partners, after they sold their share in PayPal, went on to found YouTube. Another person went and founded LinkedIn. So you need to see that people who were in the space together, it's 12 people that sat across together, shared resources, shared mind share, shared information, understood the internet space, understood how transactions are made on the internet, and then they all ventured out and did their own thing. So this is why it's very important. Like you need to give value to your mind, give yourself time to learn things, and at the end of the day, manifest. You have to manifest the life that you want.
It's mentioned in every book, bro. If you open the Bhagavad Gita, this is the most ancient scripture, bro. It's written in every kind of format, like manifest. So manifestation is not some voodoo shit, it's real shit. Anyways, just let me finish that female and male thing.
Yeah.
There was one thought that came into my head. I don't know if this is true or not. Like, I just read it on the internet and I don't care. Like I told you, I just read some information. I keep this. If it resonates with me, if it's positive, cool. And I build my own roadmap with that, and it helps me out, right? I don't need facts. I don't need things that people proven, because these things help. There was a time when there was a war going on. I don't know how far back, like maybe during the Roman war or something. The women all decided to end this war because the male ego was playing in part over here,
Okay.
just by not having sex with the men. They just decided, let's not have sex with the men and like deprive them of sex, because sex is important also. It's very important that you exchange your energy with the right partners, so that during sexual intercourse you actually manifest better. This is the most important thing I keep telling.
Okay.
Like when you exchange energy with the right person, good. If you exchange with the wrong person, you manifest shit into your reality. That's why when you have sex with someone whose self-concepts are not really good, you get sick, you get like unwell. Like there are so many things. It's way at a higher level. That's why they constantly say, be a celibate till you find the right partner. It's not that, oh, you gotta marry to find the right partner. You just gotta be celibate till you've developed yourself, and then you will attract that partner that you want, right? And this person will help you create a better reality. So the women were in charge of stopping the war. So women have a lot of power. It's just that if they wish to, like, you know, understand that the men don't really control them, they control the men. If they really know how to like activate this version of the men that they have. So it's not about you being weaker than the women or like the women being stronger than you. It's just you have to understand the women have like really strong power. If they wish to like screw your life up or make your life better, it's all up to how you treat your woman.
Yeah, I think at the end of the
yeah.
day, it's not a very complicated equation. You just gotta be nice to everyone.
Yeah,
Just
kind.
just be
Nice
and
sometimes
kind.
gets misinterpreted
Yeah.
for being weak,
Be
but kind, yeah.
Be kind to people, help people
Yeah.
out, and like just manifest together. Like
It's
I
not
think
that deep.
it's not that
That
deep.
deep.
Yeah,
How hard is it to like take care of your partner?
there's a lot of ways you can help
Yeah.
one another.
And as long as they're grateful, like, you know, you don't lose anything. Like if you're giving a lot to your partner, you should know that you have to receive it in one way or the other. It doesn't have to be in the same format, but it's their way of showing love. And at the end of the day, you give like not expecting anything. And if they're a good person, they'll always give it back to you in one way or the other. And as men, we don't need things from people. We just need to be self-sufficient as ourselves. Apart from that, we had one more thing. Golden age.
Okay.
If everything happens the way we are predicting it, which should happen the way we are predicting, because we wish for a reality to work out the way we wish, what happens? What is in your perception perspective that's gonna happen?
About the golden age?
Golden age.
Like my perspective of what we call the golden age is things working out in the way where we envision it to work out. That is, I'm looking at a reality where Donald Trump wins the election. Bitcoin goes up to $125,000. When Bitcoin goes up to $125,000, portfolios go up like 5x, all the way up to 10x, depending on what kind of companies that you hold. But at the same time, with all of this in mind, the one thing that I keep in mind about the golden age is when it's all said and done, when I walk away from crypto by exiting, selling my portfolio, the things that I would keep in hand with me is cash.
Okay, so we're going to end the podcast now. It's been a pleasure speaking to you guys, and we appreciate everyone who's tuned in. And I hope this, whatever we speak about, is bringing you guys some benefit in your life. We thank our production team. We're grateful for everyone that's been supporting us, everything that's happening around us. Even though there might be some ups and downs, we are grateful for everything. Good life, good house, good food. Apart from that, drop it in the comments if you guys have anything that you would specifically like us to speak about. We'll review it, and if it resonates with us, we'll 100% speak about it. And if you guys need help with anything, feel free to reach out. There's no way you guys will move ahead unless you take actual interest in finding out more. And this is how different portals open for you guys to proceed forward in life. With that being said, have a beautiful rest of your week, and we'll see you next episode with a special
guest
coming in.
Special guest coming in next episode.
Adios, amigos!